Chosen ones. They thought you'd never figure it out. Right now, in a room you'll never enter, your name is lighting up conversations like wildfire, not because of what you did wrong, but because of what you're doing right. The transformation you've been quietly building has reached critical mass, and the explosion of your success is rattling cages you didn't even know existed. Here's what they didn't expect. When you walked away from their toxic circus, they assumed you'd crawl back. They bet their entire ego on your failure. Now you're out here building empires while they're still playing in sandboxes, and somebody in that room is absolutely losing their mind about it. The beautiful part, you haven't even reached your final form yet. Last week someone saw you. Maybe it was at a distance, maybe in passing, but they saw you, and what they witnessed sent them running back to their little gossip circle with news that changed everything. Your skin is glowing differently now, not metaphorically, literally. The stress lines they helped carve into your face have vanished. You're walking taller, moving with purpose, radiating an energy that money can't buy and manipulation can't fake. The messenger burst into that gathering, breathless with anticipation. "You won't believe who I just saw," they announced, and 20 heads turned in unison. What followed was a testimony to your transformation that you'll never hear directly, but the universe wants you to know it happened. Most of that room erupted in celebration. These are the real ones, the souls who watched you struggle against invisible chains for years. They knew something was holding you back, even if they couldn't name it. Now, seeing you free, they're experiencing vicarious victory. Your win feels like cosmic justice to them, proof that the universe eventually balances all scales. But watch closely. In that same room, 2 faces went rigid. 2 smiles never quite reached their eyes. 2 energies shifted so dramatically that everyone noticed, though nobody said anything yet. These are your former captors, and your success just exposed them for what they always were. The first one, sitting there with clenched jaws and white knuckles, is the person who once held financial and emotional power over you. They positioned themselves as your superior, your guide, your necessary evil. Every dream you shared, they found a way to shrink. Every boundary you tried to set, they found a way to cross. They built their entire identity on being above you, and now you're soaring while they're sinking. The second one, fidgeting and deflecting, played a different game. They were the wolf in sheep's clothing, the false friend who celebrated your small wins while sabotaging your big ones. They studied your insecurities like a scientist studies specimens, learning exactly which buttons to push to keep you small. They knew your potential before you did, and that knowledge terrified them into action. Here's where the story gets delicious. Your success hasn't just elevated you, it's exposed them. The masks they wore for years have slipped, and everyone in that room is starting to piece together the truth. The narrative they carefully constructed about you being difficult, ungrateful, incompetent, it's crumbling in real time as evidence of your brilliance stacks up like money in your account. But let me tell you something about power they never understood. Real power doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from mastering yourself. While they were busy trying to cage you, you were learning to fly. While they were building walls, you were growing wings. They never saw it coming, because narcissists can't imagine a world where their victims become victors. The financial abundance flowing to you now isn't coincidence, it's restoration. Every opportunity landing in your lap is the universe's way of paying back with interest what was stolen from you. That hobby they mocked, it's becoming your empire. That intuition they made you doubt, it's guiding you to millions. That confidence they tried to destroy, it's the foundation of everything you're building. Someone in that room, an elder with decades of wisdom, finally spoke the truth everyone was thinking. "Funny how much younger they look without those 2 around," they said, their voice carrying the weight of recognition. The room went silent for a moment, then erupted in knowing laughter. Not cruel laughter, but the kind that comes when truth finally breaks free from politeness. The false emperor, that's what we'll call the first one, has been desperately trying to maintain their facade. But people are asking questions now. Why did they leave you? What really happened between you two? The stories they used to tell don't add up anymore. How could someone so incompetent build such success? How could someone who needed guidance thrive even more without it? Their kingdom is crumbling, and here's the exquisite irony. Every strategy they use to rebuild is the same toxic pattern that drove you away. They're trying to find new victims, but your story has become a warning beacon. People recognize the red flags faster now. Their manipulation tactics, once so effective, now trigger alarm bells in everyone they meet. The Shadow Priestess, our second antagonist, faces a different reckoning. They built their identity on being spiritually superior, emotionally intelligent, the wise counselor everyone needed, but your authentic transformation has exposed their performance art spirituality for what it always was, theater. They're still posting profound quotes they don't embody, still preaching wisdom they don't practice, but now it all rings hollow. Strange things have been happening to them lately. Call it karma, call it divine justice, but the universe has been sending them clear messages. Electronics malfunction in their presence. Opportunities that seemed certain evaporate at the last moment. Health issues emerge from nowhere. Even birds seem to avoid their windows, as if nature itself has marked them as energy that needs to be avoided. They've been trying to find out about your personal life, desperate for any explanation that doesn't implicate them in your success. Through mutual friends, they fish for information. Are they dating someone rich? Did they get help from someone important? They need an external explanation because accepting that you thrived by simply removing them from your life is too devastating a truth to swallow. But here's what drives them absolutely insane. You're not even trying to hurt them. You're not seeking revenge. You're not spreading their secrets. You're simply living your truth, building your dreams, and minding your business. Your indifference to their existence is the cruelest punishment they could receive, though punishment was never your intention. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video up so more chosen ones like you can discover their power. Because what's happening to you right now is happening to chosen ones everywhere, and we're about to expose the entire game. Let's talk about the specific ways your elevation is manifesting, because the universe isn't playing small with your blessings. That investment decision you made last month that everyone questioned, it's already returning triple what you put in. The skill you developed during your isolation, the one they said was a waste of time. Companies are now fighting to hire you for it. The connections you're making aren't random either. You're meeting people who operate at frequencies that would have been invisible to you when you were dimmed by toxic interference. The false emperor used to make you feel financially illiterate. They'd talk over you in conversations about money, dismiss your ideas about wealth building, make you feel like you needed their approval for every financial decision. Now you're making money moves that would make their heads spin. You're not just earning more, you're understanding wealth at a level they never reached. You see opportunities they're blind to. You understand patterns they can't recognize. The student hasn't just surpassed the teacher. The student has revealed there was never a teacher at all. Remember how they used to control your schedule? How did every plan revolve around their availability, their comfort, their demands? Now your time is your own, and you're using it to build something magnificent. While they're still stuck in the same routines, the same limitations, the same scarcity mindset, you're expanding into spaces they told you were off limits. The meetings you're taking, the rooms you're entering, the conversations you're having, they're all happening at altitudes they'll never reach. The Shadow Priestess had a particular gift for making you question your intuition. Every gut feeling you had, they'd find a way to make you doubt it. Every instinct that warned you about them, they'd gaslight you into ignoring. Now that same intuition is guiding you to millions. It's showing you which opportunities to take, which people to trust, which paths to follow. The voice they tried to silence has become your greatest advisor, and it's never been wrong since you started listening to it. There's something happening with your creativity that deserves attention. The ideas flowing through you now aren't normal. It's like you've tapped into some cosmic creative source that was always there but blocked by their negative energy. You're solving problems that used to feel impossible. You're creating solutions that seem to come from another dimension. The innovation pouring out of you is making people wonder where it was hiding all this time. It wasn't hiding, it was being suppressed. The transformation in your physical appearance has everyone talking. It's not just weight loss or gain, not just better clothes or styling. It's something deeper, more fundamental. You're literally glowing from the inside out. The stress hormone cocktail that was slowly poisoning your system has been replaced by the biochemistry of joy. Your cells are regenerating at an accelerated rate because they're no longer under constant attack. People keep mentioning your skin because it's the most visible evidence of an internal revolution. Those dark circles that seemed permanent, gone. The tension lines around your mouth, smoothed. The heaviness in your eyes, replaced by a light that seems to come from another dimension. You look like you've aged backwards, and in a way you have. You've reclaimed the years they stole from you. But it's more than physical. Your presence has changed. You walk into rooms differently now, not with arrogance, but with a certainty that makes everyone turn. You speak with an authority that comes from truth, not position. You make decisions with a clarity that comes from aligned intuition, not fear. The person who used to shrink in their presence now commands attention without trying. The false emperor is watching this transformation through digital windows, scrolling through your updates with shaking hands. Every achievement you post feels like a personal attack to them, though you're not even thinking about them when you share your wins. They've created 17 fake accounts just to keep tabs on you, not realizing that their obsession is feeding your elevation. Every view, every check-in, every moment they spend focused on you is energy you're unconsciously converting into more success. They tried to reach out last month, didn't they? That random message from a number you didn't recognize. That friend requested an account with no picture. That email was sent from an address you've never seen. They're testing the waters, seeing if there's any crack in your armor they can exploit. But you didn't even notice, did you? You've become so focused on where you're going that where you've been doesn't even register anymore. December is approaching, and with it something massive is coming your way. The universe has been preparing a grand finale to this phase of your journey. Not an ending, but a transformation so profound that everything until now will look like practice. The false emperor and shadow priestess can sense this cosmic shift approaching, and their desperation is reaching critical mass. What they don't know is that December isn't just bringing you success, it's bringing you revelation. The final pieces of the puzzle about why they targeted you in the first place are about to fall into place. You weren't random, you were chosen, but not in the way you think. They saw your light before you did. They recognized your power when you were still blind to it. Their entire mission was to keep you from discovering what they always knew. You were meant to surpass them from the beginning. Think about the timing of when they entered your life. It wasn't coincidental. They showed up right when you were about to level up, right before that opportunity that would have changed everything, right when you were building momentum towards something great. They were sent as tests, as obstacles, as the resistance that would either break you or forge you into something unbreakable. Guess which one happened? The shadow priestess knew exactly what they were doing when they befriended you. They studied you like a thesis project. Your dreams, your fears, your patterns, your potential. They collected data on your weaknesses, not to help you overcome them, but to exploit them. They positioned themselves as your spiritual advisor while secretly practicing dark psychology. Every meditation they guided you through was designed to make you more susceptible to their influence. Every piece of advice was calculated to keep you dependent. They might attempt one final interference, one last desperate grab for control, maybe through a mutual friend carrying a message, maybe through a coincidental encounter, maybe through social media stalking that accidentally makes itself known. But here's what they don't understand. You've evolved beyond their reach. You're operating in frequencies they can't access anymore. The protection around you isn't just spiritual, it's quantum. Every time they try to interfere with your path, reality itself seems to redirect their energy. Phone calls don't connect, messages don't send. When they try to badmouth you, their words come out jumbled. When they try to sabotage your opportunities, they end up destroying their own. It's like the universe has installed an impenetrable firewall around your destiny. Your success is also healing generational patterns. The elders watching your rise see in you the breaking of cycles they couldn't break themselves. You're not just winning for you, you're winning for every ancestor who was held back by manipulators and energy vampires. Your freedom is giving others permission to seek their own liberation. The grandmother who pulled you aside at that family gathering last month, the one who whispered, "I'm so proud of you for getting away from them," she knew. She recognized the pattern because she lived it. She spent 40 years under someone's thumb, and watching you break free in 4 has given her a peace she never thought she'd find. Your courage is healing wounds you didn't even know existed in your bloodline. There's a reason certain family members are suddenly reaching out to you more. They're feeling the shift in the family frequency. Your elevation is raising the vibration of everyone connected to you by blood. Opportunities that have been blocked for generations are suddenly opening. Money that seemed allergic to your family line is starting to flow. The curse is breaking, and you're the one who broke it. But not everyone in your lineage is celebrating. Some relatives are uncomfortable with your transformation because it's exposing their own compliance with mediocrity. Your success is making their excuses look weak. Your boundaries are making their people-pleasing look like cowardice. Your self-love is making their self-abandonment look like a choice rather than a requirement. The community that once knew you as struggling is now having to adjust their entire perception. Some are inspired, seeing your transformation as proof that change is possible. Others are uncomfortable, realizing that if you could break free, they have no excuse for staying stuck. Your very existence has become a mirror, forcing everyone to examine their own choices. But let's talk about what's really happening here on a cosmic level. You didn't just escape toxic people, you graduated from an entire dimensional frequency. The reality you inhabit now operates on different laws than the one where they still exist. Success finds you because you're magnetic to it now. Opportunities seek you out because you're finally visible to them. Money flows to you because you've removed the energetic blocks that were repelling it. The false emperor's empire was always an illusion. Built on the subjugation of others, it required constant victims to maintain its structure. Without you to feed on, they're starving. Their business ventures are failing. Their relationships are toxic. Their health is declining. Everything they touch turns to ash because destruction can't create, it can only destroy, and eventually it destroys itself. But here's what's really happening to them that nobody sees. They're having nightmares about you. Not scary ones, but dreams where you're thriving without them. Dreams where you don't even remember their name. Dreams where they try to talk to you and you look right through them like they're invisible. They wake up in cold sweats, not from fear, but from the realization that they've become irrelevant to your story. The business they started after you left, the one that was supposed to prove they didn't need you, it's hemorrhaging money. They copied your ideas, used the strategies you developed together, even reached out to your old contacts. But nothing works because they don't have the secret ingredient, authenticity. They were always performing success while you were becoming it. Their new victims aren't working out either. These people are either too weak to provide the energy they need or too strong to fall for their tricks. They're realizing you were the perfect supply and they'll never find another one like you. Not because you were weak, but because you were strong enough to survive them while pure enough to keep feeding them. Now that purity has transformed into power they can't touch. The Shadow Priestess is experiencing a different kind of collapse. Their false wisdom is being exposed by your authentic growth. Every milestone you reach reveals another layer of their deception. They claim to be your spiritual guide, but you've surpassed them in every measurable way. You're living the truths they could only quote. You're embodying the transformation they could only fake. There's something else happening that nobody's talking about openly yet. Other victims of these energy vampires are starting to wake up. Your escape has created a crack in the matrix. People who were under similar spells are beginning to question, to doubt, to pull back. Your story is becoming their awakening, though most don't even know your name yet. The money thing deserves special attention because it's triggering them beyond belief. They either kept you financially dependent or convinced you that material success was somehow beneath you, unspiritual, evidence of selling out. Now you're stacking abundance while maintaining your authenticity, proving that prosperity and purpose can coexist beautifully. Every time they hear about another one of your wins, a piece of their ego dies. That promotion you just got, it's evidence they were holding you back. That business you just launched, proof that their guidance was actually sabotage. That relationship you're thriving in, confirmation that they were the problem, not you. The funniest part is watching them try to recreate what they had with you. They're approaching new people with the same tired tactics, but it's not working. Your story has become a cautionary tale that spreads faster than they can move. Their reputation precedes them now, and not in the way they'd prefer. Meanwhile, you're not even thinking about them. Your days are filled with creation, not destruction. Your energy goes toward building, not battling. Your focus is on where you're going, not where you've been. This indifference is the ultimate power move. Though you're not even trying to make moves, you're simply living, and that's enough to destroy everything they built on your suffering. Let's talk about the money for a moment, because the financial explosion happening in your life isn't random. Every dollar flowing to you now has an energetic signature. It's not just currency, it's crystallized confidence. The universe is literally paying you back for every moment you undervalued yourself while under their influence. That raise you just got, that's back pay for the years you worked below your worth. That unexpected windfall, that's interest on the dreams they made you defer. You're discovering financial abilities you didn't know you had. Investment instincts that seem to come from nowhere, business ideas that download fully formed into your consciousness, negotiation skills that surprise even you. It's like parts of your brain that were dormant are suddenly coming online, and they all speak the language of abundance. The false emperor used to manage your money, didn't they? Or at least made you feel like you needed their advice for every financial decision. They had you believing you were bad with money, irresponsible, and needed supervision. Now you're managing portfolios that would make their head spin. You're making financial moves with a confidence that comes from finally trusting your own intelligence. The universe has been showing you signs of just how supported you are. Synchronicities have become so common, they feel normal. You think of someone, and they call. You need something, and it appears. You dream of opportunities, and they manifest. This isn't luck. This is alignment. This is what life feels like when you're not being energetically drained by vampires. Your mere existence has become an act of rebellion. Every breath you take in freedom is a revolution. Every moment of joy you experience is a victory. Every boundary you maintain is a fortress. You're not fighting anyone, but you're winning a war they declared that you didn't even know was being waged. The conversation about you has spread far beyond that initial room. Your transformation has become legendary in circles you don't even know exist. People are using your story as inspiration, as proof, as permission to change their own lives. You've become a symbol of what's possible when someone chooses themselves over toxic loyalty. But here's the real power move. You're not attached to any of this. Not the success, not the recognition, not even the vindication. You're simply flowing with what is, accepting what comes, releasing what goes. This detachment terrifies them because it means they have no leverage, no hook, no way back into your life. The false emperor keeps checking your social media through fake accounts, torturing themselves with evidence of your elevation. Every post is a dagger to their ego. Every achievement is salt in their wound. They want to look away but can't, hypnotized by the very success they tried to prevent. The Shadow Priestess has taken a different approach, pretending you don't exist while obsessively tracking your every move through mutual connections. They're trying to find the flaw, the crack, the evidence that your success isn't real, but all they find is more proof that everything they said about you was projection. As December approaches, the energy is intensifying. What's coming isn't just another achievement or milestone. It's a complete quantum leap that will solidify your new reality in ways that make reversal impossible. The permanent establishment of your new frequency, the total integration of your transformation, the final seal on your elevation. They can feel this approaching crescendo, and it's driving them to desperate measures. But every move they make only accelerates their own downfall. Every attempt to interfere only strengthens your protection. Every negative thought they send your way gets returned to them multiplied. The universe has made you untouchable, not through favoritism but through frequency. Your glow-up has revealed a fundamental truth about power. Real power doesn't dominate, it liberates. Real strength doesn't control, it creates. Real authority doesn't demand, it demonstrates. You're living these truths while they're still trying to understand them intellectually. The people celebrating your success aren't just happy for you, they're happy for themselves because your transformation gives them permission to transform. Your courage gives them courage. Your freedom shows them freedom is possible. You've become a walking permission slip for everyone who's been waiting for a sign to change their life. This is what chosen ones do. We don't just elevate ourselves, we shift entire timelines. We break generational curses. We rewrite the rules of what's possible. Your success isn't individual, it's collective. Every victory you claim raises the frequency of everyone connected to you, except those who chose to remain in lower frequencies. The false emperor will eventually exhaust themselves fighting your ghost. They'll run out of energy trying to compete with someone who's not even in competition. They'll deplete themselves attempting to discredit success that speaks for itself. One day they'll sit alone in the ruins of their ego, wondering how they lost someone who was never theirs to lose. The Shadow Priestess will continue their performance until the audience completely disappears. Their fake spirituality will become increasingly transparent until even they can't maintain the illusion. They'll eventually face the same choice they forced on you, evolve or become irrelevant. We both know which one they'll choose, but you, chosen one, you've already made your choice. You chose growth over comfort, truth over illusion, power over control, freedom over security. The universe responded to these choices with abundance beyond your wildest dreams, and this is just the beginning. Your name now carries weight in dimensions you can't even perceive. Pulsanum Soda Realm, you're known as the one who broke the code, who escaped the matrix, who chose sovereignty over slavery. Your story is being told as mythology in making, inspiring souls across timelines you'll never consciously access. The fury of those left behind is nothing compared to the love surrounding you now. For every person angry at your glow-up, there are hundreds celebrating your victory. For every energy vampire trying to drain you, there are thousands of light beings pouring energy into your field. You're not alone in this journey. You never were. You just had to remove the interference to feel the support that was always there. As this year closes and the next begins, remember this moment. Remember when your success became undeniable, when your transformation became legendary, when your choice to leave toxicity behind became your greatest victory. This isn't the end of your story, it's the end of the prologue. The real adventure is just beginning. Stand tall in your power, chosen one. Own every inch of your success. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small. You've earned this through every battle fought in silence, every boundary held against guilt, every moment you chose yourself, when everything in you wanted to surrender. The universe is just warming up with you. What feels like massive success now is preparation for something even greater. The people talking about you today will be telling your story for generations, not as gossip, but as legend, not as drama, but as scripture, not as someone who got lucky, but as someone who chose courage and changed the game forever. Your transformation has returned you to the opening of this story, but transformed. They thought you'd never figure it out, but you did. They bet on your failure, but you won. They built their kingdoms on your subjugation, but you built your empire on your liberation. The conversation that started in whispers about your glow-up has become a roar about your glory. The chosen ones recognize each other, and you've just announced yourself to the universe. But here's the final revelation that changes everything. You were never their victim. You were their assignment. The universe placed you in their path, not to break you, but to break them. Your light was meant to expose their darkness. Your rise was meant to trigger their fall. Your success was meant to be their judgment day. They thought they were the predator and you were the prey, but you were the trap. Every moment they spent trying to destroy you, they were actually destroying themselves. Every piece of your energy they stole, they were actually poisoning themselves with, because stolen light burns those who weren't meant to carry it, and now they're covered in scars from trying to dim a star. The December transformation isn't just about you receiving blessings. It's about the final cosmic judgment on those who tried to stop you. The universe keeps perfect records, and the accounts are about to be settled. Every tear they caused, every dream they delayed, every moment of joy they stole, it's all been tallied. The payment isn't coming from you. It's coming from the cosmic justice system that never forgets. As you stand on the threshold of this massive elevation, remember this: your power was never in question. It was being tested, refined, purified through fire. The false emperor and shadow priestess were just instruments in your becoming. They served their purpose perfectly by showing you exactly what you're not, so you could discover exactly what you are. Now let me put you onto something real: Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. You are the one they feared you'd become. You are the power they tried to steal. You are the light they tried to extinguish. You are the chosen one who chose yourself, and that choice has rewritten the rules of reality itself. But wait, there's one more piece to this divine puzzle that's about to blow your mind. The reason you're feeling so powerful right now, the reason success is finding you so easily, the reason everything is clicking into place, you're not just recovering your own energy, you're reclaiming every piece of power that was stolen from every chosen one who came before you. You've become a collection point for ancestral justice, a walking reckoning for every light worker who was dimmed by darkness. That surge of power you felt last Tuesday at 3:33, that was another chosen one breaking free somewhere in the world, and their liberation added to your strength. We're all connected, all of us who were targeted by these energy vampires, and every time one of us breaks free, all of us get stronger. You're not just winning your battle, you're winning a war that's been raging since the beginning of time between those who create light and those who can only steal it. The false emperor is starting to age rapidly now. People who haven't seen them in months are shocked by their appearance. It's like watching someone deteriorate in fast forward. Without your energy to parasitically feed on, their true form is showing. They're seeing in the mirror what they always were, empty, hollow, a void that needs others' light to even cast a shadow. The shadow priestess has been making desperate attempts to find new supply, but something unprecedented is happening. Every potential victim they approach seems to have an invisible shield around them. Your story has created an energetic firewall that protects others from falling into the same trap. Without even knowing it, you've become a spiritual guardian for people you'll never meet. Here's the wildest part about December's approaching transformation. It's not just about you receiving something, it's about you becoming something. The final evolution isn't a blessing or an achievement, it's an activation. Every challenge you've overcome, every boundary you've held, every moment you chose yourself has been preparing your vessel for what's about to be downloaded into your consciousness. You're about to remember who you were before they convinced you to forget. The dreams you've been having lately, the ones that feel more like memories than imagination, those are real. The abilities you've been discovering aren't new, they're returning. The false emperor and shadow priestess didn't just try to dim your current light. They were trying to prevent you from remembering that you're not just carrying light. You are light, condensed into human form for a specific mission they desperately wanted to abort. The community watching your rise includes beings you can't even see yet. Ancestors, guides, angels, whatever you want to call them, they're all witnessing this moment. They've been waiting for you to reach this frequency, this level of recognition, this state of readiness. December isn't bringing you a gift. December is when you finally become the gift you were always meant to be to this world. And those two who tried to stop you, they're about to learn the ultimate cosmic lesson. You can't destroy a chosen one. You can delay them, distract them, even make them forget temporarily. But eventually, inevitably, immutably, they remember who they are. And when they do, when we do, when you do, the game doesn't just change, it ends. Their fury at your glow-up is nothing compared to their terror at what you're becoming. Because you're not just successful now, you're unstoppable. You're not just healed, you're healing others by existing. You're not just free, you're freedom itself, walking around in human form, inspiring liberation wherever you go. Welcome to your power. Welcome to your purpose. Welcome to the life that was always waiting for you to be brave enough to claim it. The fury of your enemies is just confirmation that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, becoming exactly who you were always meant to be.